I find opening is really hard.
Bro, I agree.
Yeah?
I've been doing stand-up a long time. I've been doing stand-up 20 years, and I still despise opening.
Opening, you mean not opening for someone. I mean like the
opening the show.
Right,
Like
the first
what
30
do you
seconds.
like your first bits? Because so much of stand-up is winning the crowd over and them liking you and your energy. You need, because when you are an unknown, even though like, you know, in LA, comics know who you are and stuff, like the average audience until you pop doesn't know who you are. So even it's so crazy. People will pay cover charge, 2-drink minimum. And whenever a comic they don't know comes on stage, there's still this, who's this guy? I wonder if he's funny. Like there's a wall and you have to win them over. And so you got to do it as quickly as possible with opening. So I'll have these opening jokes and those are precious to me. Like they're tight, they're quick, and okay, they know what I'm about.
Let me hear one.
I don't want to waste it on here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to waste my openers.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand, but I mean like, you know.
Everyone's different though. Because if you are a big personality, if you're like
Motorcycle helmet under the...
No, that's just like cool guy. I'm saying like in stand-up, if you are like Joey Diaz or you're like Theo, you can say anything. Like, because people are like, I know what this is. I know what this guy is.
Yeah.
You're such a big personality that the brain doesn't, you're not like...
Is it a big personality or is it they know their personality? Even if it's small.
Nah, they know that type. Like if Theo comes out like, how y'all doing?
Yeah, because
blah, blah,
they
blah.
know him.
But not now they do. But I'm saying before Theo popped.
Gotcha.
Like Joey Diaz comes out like,
term
oh, y'all
pops.
motherfuckers doing it. It's like, I know. I know that guy.
Right.
Before he even tells a joke.
There's an interview I have that I have on my phone. I'm sure, well, maybe I'll put it in here.
You can be confident in what you're doing, but the audience, because they do not know you well enough yet, you won't have the general acceptance.
And for those of you who didn't quite understand, what that was is Bob Newhart, or Johnny Carson was talking about Bob Newhart and about how when he goes on, when someone knows who you are already,
Yeah.
they just trust. It's a trust thing, so they like you already, as opposed to like what you're saying of like, make me like you.
It's not that adversarial,
Right.
But there is a piece of that, and whenever an unknown comic plays for an audience, there is this guy thinks he's funny. We'll see. You got to win him over.
That's so. I think that every comic who is aware of that projects what that thing is. Mine is, why do I care about this guy? It isn't. He thinks he's funny. Mine is more like, what's special about this?
It's unfunny till proven funny when they don't know who you are. Yeah.
So what do you do what's the difference between you as your character and you as Fahim? Remind me, who's the dance guy again?
What, the thing the character I would do sometimes? Lance Kanstopoulos?
Lance Kanstopoulos.
I haven't done him forever, man.
Well, he's you know.
Yeah.
When you come into the character where versus coming in as Fahim, do you feel like you have to prove yourself more as Fahim, but the character you get to hide behind something and it doesn't matter how you open?
100%.
How do we trick ourselves to do that as Rick or as Fahim? Or how do you do that?
Here's the different thought process going into stand-up as me versus Lance. Me, I'm like a regular guy. You know, like I'm a thoughtful, analytical, heady guy. And like, I have jokes, well-constructed thoughts and like POV. And there is something that I want to say about certain topics. There is a precision and like, there's jokes. There's some labor going. There's some like mental labor going on. And refining and crafting jokes. And even though I do act outs and stuff, like there's still some massaging that goes into these bits. And I'm like, okay, what bit goes after what? Okay, I can tag this next show. It's kind of analytical, all right? And I'm also a regular guy. So when I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? People don't know what I am yet. Whereas like, hey, yo, how y'all motherfuckers doing? Like, I'm here. That's like my bad Joey Diaz.
Oh.
You know? Because they hear that, it's like, I'm already in. I know this guy. But when you're like, hey, how you guys doing? Blah, blah,
but
blah.
don't people know, hey, how you guys doing?
Nah, it's too generic. People don't know what's going on
yet. In fact,
yet.
they know him so well that they know so many people like that.
Yes, they know that type. They know that archetype.
Right.
They know an uncle like that, or they know a cousin like that, or their dad's like that. There is
Those
a
are the main
shorthand.
three.
Yeah, nobody else.
Dad, cousin, uncle.
Dad, cousin, uncle.
Basically.
Yeah, but when I'm like, hey, how you guys doing? Like, people don't know what that is yet. So you need to win them over with jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And
Versus
energy. And Lance is just pure. He's not jokes. I don't even do material as Lance. It's just come out dancing.
Yeah.
I have a mullet.
Uh-huh.
I have a wife beater tucked into some jeans. I'm dancing for like 30 seconds before I even touch the mic.
Uh-huh.
It's this like club music. People are already on board. I haven't even opened my mouth and they are on board.
And that's a testament
yeah.
to how powerful and important energy is.
Authentic energy, though.
It doesn't matter.
You can fake it?
I think if you were going to do an hour as Lance, you need to have beats, right? It's not sustainable for an hour, just dancing.
For sure. But it's a different game. So it's not, I don't even think about bits when I do Lance because it's just about being present and being the character. And there is no right or wrong answer because like, it's also a nice mental vacation for me
I know.
whenever I do Lance because I'm like, all I got to do is put the weave in, it's like Superman, put the shit on, dance for 30 seconds, and then just be.
Right.
There's no bits. It's just all crowd work. The whole game of it is, anybody have any questions for me? Just shout it out. And people just throw questions out. And then he answers the questions. People try to paint him into a corner with the questions, but then it's just like great improv.
So I'm loving this conversation. I'm loving what we're getting into.
All right.
So if there were two sides of this, it's, and there's whatever version for whatever comedian, but let's say there's analytical, structured at least, jokes. This is the routine, right?
Yeah.
And then there's go with the flow, character work, but most specifically being completely present and being there and everything is okay because even though you're a character, you're being honest. You're thinking, you're responding. Right. I grew up in this.
Yeah.
I love this.
That is great.
It's fantastic.
It's fun as shit.
It's hard to have control this for better by design. It's hard to control this. So if you wanted to do a special, unless it's a character's piece, like a stand-up special, you can't really craft something. You could craft your character and your instincts, but you need this side.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I, for a very long time, couldn't do both. And I think a big part of the craft is being able to be present and energetic while also doing this stuff. I feel that you are in the middle of that. I feel like even when you're Fahim, analytical, structured, you get to do your act out and you get to do your silly thing.
Yeah.
So why don't you, when you're opening as Fahim, and is there a way to open with character, energy, whatever, and then go here as opposed to the other way around?
There might be. And I might try that actually. Like
that's where I'm living and trying to discover.
Just like opening with that instead of like, what is the perfect bit to win them over? Just win them with energy and character. Or just like, who gives a shit?
That I think that. It's not who cares, because obviously we care.
Sure.
But it's not letting their opinion of us affect our energy, right? Even if you do care, it is what it is.
Right.
And when you're Lance Kanstopoulos, it doesn't matter what they think. You're fucking in.
It's a freight train. Like, yeah. It's like that guy doesn't care what you think. Like that guy could get no laughs and he'll come off and be like, fucking crushed.
People come in who are comics to watch Lance Kanstopoulos and love it and laugh.
Yeah.
People who've never seen it before think, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
And they love it and laugh. Why not open with it? Or at
What
least
do you
as
mean?
one of, there's, we're talking about we have our little things and I have them too. Like here are the, get them in 8 seconds and then take a drink of water, relax, whatever.
Because it's like trust and then you can do your set. It's like build a trust and then.
I've noticed when I love I love all talent competition shows. And what I've noticed that magicians do in America's Got Talent, they always open right away with a trick. Not the most amazing trick, but they open with a trick because then there's a minute and a half of them. Yeah, like we don't care, but they already like, oh shit, I believe he could do something. So now I'm in for the, but if he went out, like get him to trust you first.
Yes.
So that first moment, if you went out there as Lance Kanstopoulos, I mean, I'm not meaning to pitch you. I'm
Sure.
just talking about craft.
Well, I wouldn't have the clothes and shit on. I couldn't do it
It
as
doesn't have
me.
to really be him.
What, Lance with no mullet?
Yeah, or it could be, who's one of the other NSYNC members? Justin.
What, Justin?
It could be anybody. I'm just saying, if you just went out there as you and danced for 30 seconds, which my mom has been telling me to do, by the way, for a decade. Why don't you go on stage and dance more? She says to me all the time. I go, because Fahim does it, Mom. It's too similar, Mom.
Yeah. No, it's parallel thinking. Well, the reason I wouldn't dance as me, for some reason, it feels authentic as Lance, but for Fahim to dance before a set feels cheap and weird and hacky.
Then don't be Fahim.
Yeah, but then I got to throw the Lance shit on.
No, I'm
What do you
saying
mean?
be Lance without the shit. Clark Kent still is Superman with his glasses on. We'll be right back.
Whoa.
And we promise, with more than 50 years as a family-owned business, we've got you covered!
What's up, man?
What's up, dude?
How you feeling?
Pretty good.
Oh yeah.